this particular challenge that we've got, I wanted to think about showing that differentiation with trigonometry using different identities should give us the same results, okay? So I want to check that if I differentiate sine squared x using the chain rule, I want to check that if I use a rearranged version of the double angle formula, which I've got up there in red, if I rearrange it so that it's in terms of cos 2x, that I differentiate that and I should get the same thing. And if I don't, then trigonometry is broken and differentiation has broken. So how do I differentiate sine squared x? What do I usually advise doing first? Yeah, writing it in like its index kind of form like this. So when I differentiate sine squared x, I get 2 sine x cos x. Okay, you could go a bit further with that if you wanted to, or maybe not. So I'm now going to take this double angle formula, which you all know, which is cos 2x is 1 minus 2 sine squared x. When I rearrange this and I put the 2 sine squared x on this side, I would get 1 minus cos 2x. A few people just now were getting rid of the 2 by dividing everything by 2. Personally, I see it a bit easier as saying that sine squared x is just going to be that thing divided by 2 minus that thing divided by 2. A couple of people did things like they just divided the 2x by 2. They started manipulating the argument, which you cannot do. That is fully illegal. Okay, you do not manipulate the argument. And some people wrote the whole thing divided by 2, but generally it's better to keep trig functions sort of solo and just to put the coefficient outside the front. So instead of dividing by 2, multiplying by a half is usually better. So now if I was going to say that y is equal to sine squared x, actually y is equal to a half minus a half cos 2x. And we're now going to differentiate this and see what we get. When you differentiate a half, you get nothing. Then I'm going to leave that minus a half there for a second, and I just want to think about differentiating cos 2x. What does cos 2x differentiate to? Minus 2 sine 2x. So the negatives cancel, the half and the 2 cancels, and you get sine 2x. Is this the same as this? Yes. Why? This is a double angle formula. We could have said here that this is sine 2x. And we've got the same result over here, that this is sine 2x. So I think some people were getting really confused with how to differentiate this and making this a bit more complicated than it needed to be. They were trying to apply the chain rule to the whole thing. No, you have 2 separate terms here. Differentiate this, differentiate this. Okay, these are tough. I'm not telling you these are easy. I'm telling you that they're tough, but I'm telling you need to put more work into it if something feels difficult, because you're all capable of doing this. Every single year, people always find this difficult, and they always get to it if they put the work in. If they don't put the work in, it's touch and go whether they actually get there with it, okay? The second challenge that I wanted to look at was differentiating ln of x cubed in 2 different ways. So some of you may have had a look at this. If you haven't, we're going to do this one together. And the first what we're going to do, if we say that y is equal to the natural log ln of x cubed, the first way I want to do it is using the chain rule. So I started saying in the last lesson that I would call this ln of blah, okay? And when you differentiate ln functions, what do you usually get for ln functions? You get 1 over blah. So I would get 1 over blah, and then you multiply it by, which is 3x squared. You multiply it by the derivative of blah, which is 3x squared. Some of you may have been able to go straight to this, because you know that ln functions differentiate to the inside of the ln function, and on top of it, the derivative of the inside of the ln function. So this simplifies to just 3 over x, because the x squared and the x cubed cancel. Now, the other way that we wanted to differentiate this was using log laws, okay? So we're going to not do any differentiation first. We're going to use a log law to write ln of x cubed in a different way, and then we're going to differentiate that and see what we get. So ln of x cubed, how else can I write ln of x cubed? I could do ln x plus ln x plus ln x. Okay, I'm going to do it that way, and I'm going to do another way in a second. This is the same as ln x plus ln x plus ln x, because Shahan knows that when you add the logs together, you're actually multiplying all of these things together. But there was probably a quicker way that we could have done this, because this is 3 ln x, right? Because you've got 3 ln x's being added here. But I think you probably could have gone from that line to that line by pulling the power down from x cubed to the front. But actually, it's kind of nice that Shahan did it in that way, because we're seeing why that rule is actually true, that you're actually breaking it into those 3 bits being added together. So that's kind of cool. And so now if we differentiate 3 ln x, well, that's just 3 multiplied by the derivative of ln x, which is 1 over x. So it's 3 multiplied by 1 over x, and it is 3 over x. So both of these results here give you 3 over x. And that's kind of cool because we've used different techniques to be able to differentiate them. And when I say that the rules that we have here are watertight, that means that everything makes sense. Everything fits together like a sort of perfect puzzle. There's no one thing where you go, oh, hang on a second, you can't use the chain rule there because it's not going to work. It's something that works in all of these different scenarios that we've got, okay?